My eldest brother Jim died in Saigon when I was 5. I don't really remember him. I always thought Jim died in the war. In some ways, the truth was hidden from me. There's always been a lot of mystery about what happened to Jim.
Jimmy was so interested in the rising tide.
North Vietnam cannot humiliate the United States.
A few months after getting home from the Army, Jimmy was making plans to return to Vietnam as a civilian.
And he talked about the sex and the drugs and the food and the music.
We thought that he had fallen in love with some woman over there and wouldn't tell us about her, because that's the way he acted.
Peter, thank you very much for this documentary.
Thank you. Thanks for having me in Amsterdam.
Yeah, it's the 30th or 31st film festival the film is screening, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So how is that, to make a film that is so successful you can play it in 31 film festivals?
I'm very grateful. It's a big honor, something I never would have imagined. We opened in London at BFI Flair a year ago, and this is my first time back in Amsterdam since 1984, last time I was here. Yeah, I mean, you probably are telling people this, but it's called Jimmy in Saigon, and the film is about my eldest brother who died in Vietnam in 1972 and how my family dealt with it, but also I did a lot of research about his life and death and found out some answers.
But Jimmy was very, shall we say, secretive.
It was pretty clear even then that he was hurting about things.
Hi.
You the gym brother?
Yes. Bonjour.
Bonjour.
Ça va?
There's just so many unanswered questions.
I remember one frank talk we had, and I said, well, I just wondered, are you interested in girls or are you interested in boys? He didn't say anything.
My family's doing really well. My mother's still alive. You know, she's 98, she's going to be 99. She's very happy and healthy. She doesn't want to see the film, and it's just her personal decision. She feels very emotionally fragile. It's too much for her, she thinks. The rest of my siblings, most of my relatives have seen it, and they like it. The music was written by my brother, John, who obviously saw the film many times. I really enjoy being in the theater with people because I like to see how people react. You know, the film does have a lot of funny parts in it, and I'm glad that people in this audience, you know, laughed, so that's good. And, you know, it's laughter and tears, and I like that.
What I liked a lot about the film is that it mainly based on vague memories, family films that he actually made when he was a small kid. He used to film you guys when you were children. So you are in the film as a small boy. Letters he's written from Vietnam all the way to America. And then you compiled a story.
Yes, yeah, we used a lot of techniques. We also had animation. We had a Vietnamese animator, and we wanted to sort of fill in the it's sort of like a memory piece, you know, like you said. Fill it in with images, old-fashioned footage, and then some animation. So,
yeah, and I think a lot of families, especially maybe in America or all out the world, we have like this intergenerational traumas. Yeah, like the missing link or the goat sheep or the black sheep.
Yeah.
And maybe your brother was one of these persons in a family which we don't talk about.
Right. Yeah, there was some mysteries about his drug use, sexuality and drug use. And it was just considered shameful, and my parents were extremely ashamed that he had used drugs, and I didn't know about that till I was 18 years old. It was hidden from me.
Well, on the pictures he looked like a super bright guy, big eyes like some sort of an archangel, really beautiful big eyes, and he met some person.
Yes.
Do we, in the end of the film, know who that person is or what that person meant?
Well, there is some mystery that we reveal in the film, but yeah, I mean, I think the thing that makes me happy is that sometimes you don't know if someone found love in their life, and I feel like he definitely found love. What the definition of love is, I'm not sure, but pretty sure it was romantic love. So
yeah, that's what I liked especially about the film. There's romantic photos on the beach, and there's statements of the sister also, like no, he was not my boyfriend.
Yeah, there's a lot of twists and turns in the story, and I think a closeness of
two families that couldn't be more different from across the world. Our family and a Vietnamese family, and they finally come together with a Zoom conversation between my mother and this woman. So
When I came out, I was like really suffering. To know that I might have had a gay brother could be a really, really moving thing for me.
I want to get down to every bit of truth, then other people may be resistant.
I really want to know if Jim was gay, if he had a lover,
No, they don't know.
if I can find this lover.
Well, you know, I always had distance from this because I just didn't really know him, and I was kind of getting to know him through the film, whereas I think my brothers and sisters, this was making the film was a more painful experience because it brought back these painful memories. It's painful for me that I didn't get to know Jung in his lifetime.
Have you found a relationship with your brother? Did he find you through this project?
I've always felt kind of protected by my brother's spirit, you know, like I came out in the 80s when the AIDS crisis was very strong and I was very fearful, and I kind of feel like my brother's spirit watched over me and protected me during that time. I don't know why, I just feel that way.
And in some way this film might also meant a coming out for you?
Yeah, I mean, I came out a long time ago, and almost 40 years ago, but Jimmy, my brother, never got to have a coming out, so it was like a way of helping him with that a little bit, and then, you know, you come out many times, like you come out, but then you have to come out to new people or in new ways, so it's more public than ever, yeah.
Oh jongens, echt, het is ongelooflijk hier op de Roze Filmdagen. Ik sta hier naast Wolfgang. Wolfgang, wat vond jij van de film?
Heel ontroerend, ja. En ik vind het echt fantastisch dat Peter dat hij 12 jaar aan heeft gewerkt. Dus, en ik zei net tegen hem, ik hoop dat zijn moeder ook naar die film nog gaat kijken. Er zijn dingen in mijn leven, I can relate to it. Want ik had een oud-oom en onze familie heeft me daar niet over gepraat. En persoonlijk denk ik, het is altijd goed om erover te praten. The Vietnamese lady, she said, why did it take so long to find me? You know, and she's in Iowa. And I mean, Illinois, Iowa, it's just next door. It's so funny, and I was glad there were also funny moments.
Hey, and you said it's relatable. The film is playing again this week. Would you recommend it to people?
Of course. Yeah, and it's what it's called, personal documentary.
Personal documentary.
Yeah, and it's very touching.
He didn't come out. That's why he didn't have a coming out process.
Entirely, there's no reference in life.
No, the only reference I ever had was meeting Lewin and what she said, you know. But other than, I mean, I even have a lot of private letters he wrote to friends, but he said, I'm involved with someone, and he didn't use any gender. And I think, back then he probably would have said, I have a girlfriend or I have a girl. But no, that one of the things that makes the story even more poignant is that he didn't ever come out. And I've asked friends of his, like, do you think his spirit would be okay with me outing him in this film, and I'll say it's fine, but yeah.
Anyone else?
Yeah, I thought it was a wonderful film, really, really terrific. I was curious, when you were in Vietnam, did you understand what drew him to the place other than obviously his boyfriend, but did you get a feel for why he loved Saigon, and did you like it, and have you been back since?
Yes, I loved it. It was wonderful. I hope everyone here gets to go to Vietnam if they haven't. It's just a wonderful place. The people are incredible. Obviously everybody knows the food is incredible, but it's a beautiful country and just filled with spirit and joy, and they've been through so much.
It's about cultures and the differences in that. And like either we don't speak about it or we do speak about it. Yeah. But now we have a film. We have definitely.
Everyone has family secrets. We've shown this film in Ireland and Greece and other countries where they say, "Oh, this is just like our culture. We don't talk about things. We have secrets." So.
And being back in Amsterdam after all those years, How is Amsterdam treating you?
I love it. It's great. It's a beautiful city. I loved the old Amsterdam. I like the new one very much too. So it's good. Very good.
And if you have one message for our viewers, the gay station viewers at home, what would you tell them?
I would just tell them that that Roze filmdagen is a wonderful festival. I've been to 31, and this is one of the very best. I want everyone to come to Het Kettelhuis, and if they can come on Tuesday night to see my film, I'll be here. So
Tuesday night, he'll be here. Come.
All right.
I want to find out the real truth behind actually how he died.
Who's that?
Oh, my mother. My mother.
I just feel like I'm on the tip of the iceberg.